Hi, everybody. This is Jeffrey. This is the reading for the collective for the week of January 15th through the 22nd. I didn't do them last week and I missed you. Did you miss me? I have an announcement. Actually, all my announcements are in the live video. Um, it said channel announcements or channel updates. I just put it up today. Um, so I'm going to continue to do the 3 card readings every day. I'm going to continue to do the weeklies for the collective. However, please by sign are going to be, it's going to be like a partial reading. And then for the extended reading, you have to become a member. Membership is $4.99 a month. And it includes, access to those videos, all signs, as well as meditation videos, which I'm going to be working on. And I'll have at least one a month, probably more, depending. So that is the big news. And I'm getting really involved in healing work. So if you're interested in pendulum clearing, in IET, in regular tarot readings, like on a monthly basis, individually, all the information is below. It's all on my website, ripecolor.com. Okay. So the message is get things in order. Get things in order. Put all your ducks in a row. And there's no right way to do anything. There's no right or wrong way. Like whatever works is whatever works, right? Oh, it has to be this way. It's like, well, if that's not working, find another way. It's like being versatile, being like that. Huh? Uh-huh. Look at that. Wow. All right. So we start with, I want to make sure the sound is good. After all that, we start with the Hermit. The Hermit is a really fascinating card. It's a card of Virgo. It's about paying attention to detail because he's meticulous. There's a meticulousness in the Hermit because it's a card of Virgo. The Hermit is really about really going deep within, really, really going deep within and saying, where would my light have me be? Where is my light leading me? And in order to, next card, 9 of Cups, in order to fulfill myself, in order to make my wishes come true, in order to feel sated and comfortable, what is it that I need? You know, what do I have to uncover? What do I have to bring into the light? What do I have to experience? What actions do I need to take in a slow, deliberate, meticulous way in order to fulfill myself? Fascinating. And then the Queen of Cups comes up, and she is, first of all, she's the mother, right? So there's this energy of mommy in that card. She's much more mommy than any of the other queens. I'm going to move the thing closer because I feel like I'm talking really low. Um, a little late at night, to tell you the truth. How can I mother myself? How can I comfort myself? How can I intuitively, she's really into it. She's deeply intuitive. She's really the empath. It's like I know in my soul and in my light that the thing that would satisfy me is, and how can I put together a plan with my intuition and my mind and combine them in order to make something beautiful, make something comfortable, make something loving, make something unconditional. Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is like, it's the card of the past. It's a gift. It's an intuitive gift. It's a gift of healing. It's a gift of, it's this energy of like having a recollection, whether it's real or imagined, of sweetness, of receiving a gift. of receiving a gift. And the gift could be really the talent and the individuality that you're born with, and remembering that, going back to that. It's like, oh, I always really wanted to play a musical instrument. Um, how can I bring that into my life? I'm really interested in geology. I always have been, but I went on a different course. And how can I bring that into my life? I'm not saying you have to go out and start, taking apart rocks, but maybe just like getting books, taking a walk around where you live, getting in touch with a geologist, watching YouTube videos. It's like that. It's like, how can I rekindle that old flame of the thing that I wanted to do when I was a child, in a way, or or something that's deeply satisfying to me. It's really nice. Look at this. And this came up a lot for the beginning of the year. So this is like, there's things that used to satisfy me don't satisfy me anymore. And I'm off on a trek. I'm leaving it behind. And it's not like I'm leaving it behind and I burnt a bridge. It's like I'm leaving it behind because it just doesn't interest me anymore. Or it was satisfying for the moment, but now it's not satisfying. Now I find like I'm being called towards something else, towards something new, towards something that's more fulfilling, more intuitive, more healing, more full of love for me, full of love for me. Ooh, the high priestess shows up. The high priestess is really fascinating. It's a card of Isis. She's really fertile. Um, you know what I'm getting? I'm getting like you might not know what the destination is, but you know the road you're supposed to be on. You're really understanding the road that your soul is calling you to be on. So you might not know exactly what the destination leads to. It's a little bit like, so I went to FIT, right, which is fashion school, and I studied menswear. Okay. So I know how to make garments, I know how to make patterns and all that. And what happened was I really morphed into a textile designer. I mean, it's related. So like I was at the right place, right? And I don't think it was a mistake that I, took the classes that I did, but it's almost like I, I, I was on the right road. I was on the right road, right? Maybe I was looking a little bit too much to the left when, there was something better on the right or something like that. But I was on the right road. And there's this energy in the high priestess of creating from all aspects. Sometimes it's like it's a combo. Well, I really love music and I really love geology, so maybe I'll go sing to the rocks and see what they sing back to me. I know I really went off on tangent on that one, but it's like, how can I? There's this energy of like combination of not really turning your back on the past, acknowledging it and utilizing it. Because I'm kind of getting that from this, right? I'm not like it's still here. It's still here. I mean, I don't think I'd ever say this before, but like in a year or two or five, if I say, you know what, I think I do want to live in New York again. Like, I'm open to all. I'm open to all. I'm open to be led. I'm open to, follow my intuition. I'm open to being comfortable. I'm open to listening to my light, right? I'm open to receiving gifts, whatever form they may take, whatever form they may take. It's a little bit like, let's say there's a kid. I think I've given this example before, but not in this type of reading. So there's a kid and they want a bicycle, right? And the parents, like, either they don't know or they can't afford the bicycle, and they get the kid, I don't know, a coloring book or something other than a bicycle. And initially it's like, I wanted a bicycle. But then, it's raining out one day and it's like, well, I might as well color. And then you just fall in love with coloring. And, maybe, you become this brilliant bicycle artist. It's a change in passion. Allow yourself to say, I don't know, this doesn't really interest me anymore. And now I want to pick up what I do have and what seems fertile because maybe, maybe you had two passions when you were a kid, right? And one of them was A. I know, because if I come up with more examples, I'll lose my mind. One is A, and the other one was B, and you started to go with B. And B served you, but now it's like, I don't know, I learned everything I can learn. I did everything I can do, and now maybe it's time to go back and pick up where I left off with the other thing. Or maybe it's about utilizing what I learned in B and putting it into A, or combining them somehow and allowing spirit to guide you through your intuition. It's like, well, it seems interesting, so I think I'm just going to do it. Yeah, creative thinking. This is an interesting card, because most readers see it as really dark, but at the end of the day, all the swords are really dark and they're Rider Waite. All the iconography in the swords is really dark. It's a three. It's creative thinking, creative ideas. And sometimes it's about putting three things together and making them, or putting two together and making them one. It's like that. It's like that. It's also, there's this energy because I got the Five of Cups and the Three of Swords, which has maybe like I put all my effort and my emotion into something and it didn't really quite work out the way I thought it was going to. And I'm a little bit disappointed, but it's like I'm just using that as information. I'm just using that as information. There's no mistake, because sometimes you're in a job or whatever, and it's like, what the hell am I doing here? And it's like, sometimes you figure it out like a year or two later. It's like, well, now I have that experience, so I can actually utilize some of that. Maybe it was managerial, or maybe it was dealing with people that you were able to take and form it into something new. I feel like that's what's going on. And putting things in order, like I said in the beginning. So it's like, well, what's my true priority? What do I really want? What do I really want? What would really satisfy me? And how can I utilize uh, ideas and experiences and etc. from the past in order to move forward into my future and make these things that were unpleasant or pleasant or whatever into something useful? Because I'm the emperor and I really like this card. We could read the emperor negatively too, but the emperor is really about Mars energy. Aries, I am. um, Delegation, using your mind. And, the delegation thing is really interesting because sometimes it's like, well, I don't really know if I have those skills and I'm not really sure I can develop them or if it would take too long to develop them. So like I'm the king, so I'm in charge of the whole thing. And maybe I need to gives it, let's say I want to build a house. That's always been my dream to build a house, la la la. So, and maybe you're really good with wood, with understanding that. But it's like, but when it maybe comes to the plumbing or the electricity, it's like, I really have no idea. And I don't want to get hurt. And, you know, I don't have to do absolutely everything by myself. If you're making a carrot cake, you don't have to necessarily grow the carrots, right? You're going to make your own cream cheese? Really? I wouldn't even know how to begin with that. I mean, growing a carrot, it's like you stick it in the ground and something happens. But, it's a little bit, it's less complicated than making cream cheese. To establish something new, you're being guided. To establish something new, to establish a new ritual. to establish a new ritual, right? So that you can be living in the garden in comfort. Because this is what they want for you. This is such a beautiful card. This is really about, she made her own way. She worked really hard. And now she's enjoying the fruits of her labor, right? And she doesn't need anybody. She doesn't need anybody to tell her, oh, you did good. You know, it's not about like, well, I'm known worldwide as this and that. It's like, it's enough for it to satisfy you. The Hermit's about that too. It's like, is it satisfying to me? To some people, it's really satisfying to own a house. And to some people, it's like, to some people, it's really satisfying to um, make art. And to other people, it's like, we're all different. But this is really about being self-reliant, being comfortable, also listening to the intuition, attaining. And, it could also, the interesting thing about the pentacles, and I've said this before, pentacles are not just about money. Pentacles are about health. They're about time. It's like, maybe in the past I've spent so much time on something and, it served me, but now I want to spend time on other things because she has the luxury of time. She has the luxury of time. Okay. And security. Security isn't necessarily about money. I mean, that's part of it, but security is also knowing you're part of a community, knowing that you can take care of yourself. It's a deep understanding of that, a deep understanding of that. Knowing, the other thing, sometimes she's a little bit isolated, right? Not sometimes, she's always a little bit isolated because she chose to be. But there's this energy of, she invites into her garden who she wants to invite into her garden. It's not like she has this obligation. She doesn't really care about obligation. Her obligation is to herself. Her obligation is to her comfort. Interesting. And then the Queen of Swords, second queen. The Queen of Swords is interesting. She has a very clear vision of the future, and she knows how to go about getting it. And there's a laser focus to her. And she'll use her wit and she'll use her ideas in a very precise way. And the other thing about the Queen of Swords is that there's this energy. So the traditional understanding is that she's a woman of loss. So she's a widow or a divorcee, or she's single. And she experienced the loss and she cried her tears, and now she's ready to move forward into the future. It's like, okay, had my moment, right? It was sad, but I'm going to utilize it with the help of the Emperor, with the help of the High Priestess, with the help of the Hierophant, with the help of the Hermit. It's a big reading. And in order to move forward into the future toward my dreams, toward what makes me happy, not, oh, everybody wants you to, it's like, that's nice, but this is what I want. Some people, their dream is to live in a tiny house, and some people, their dream is to live in a mansion. And who's to say, just because I don't want to live in a tiny house or in a mansion doesn't mean that if that's your dream, that's what you shouldn't have. You know what I mean? That you should, because different people do different things at different spaces. So who's to say, oh, well, Everyone says I shouldn't have a mansion. Everyone says I should have a mansion. Everyone says I should have a tiny house. Everyone says I shouldn't have a tiny house. Who cares? Who cares? Are they paying your bills? Are they spending time with you 24/7? Are they rubbing your back? It's like I have to, or we have to, or you have to honor yourself first. I'm going to show you the cards, and I think I'm going to throw like maybe one more. All right. Light of my soul is leading me toward fulfillment. I'm utilizing my intuition, um, and it's being given by a higher source. Toward my comfort, toward spending my time wisely. Isis is helping me create this out of all the experiences I've had. I'm moving forward into the future because I'm being beckoned. I'm leaving the past behind because I received a gift from it. I'm allowing the grief to pass and utilizing what I still have. I'm going to use the information in a creative way with new ideas and take charge of them and move forward into the future. Uno más. That's the transformation. That's the transformation. The death card is actually a wonderful card. The death card says nothing is wasted. The death card says all the experiences that I've had that are no longer here with me, I have let them rot, and I've used them as fertilizer toward my new life, toward my new experience, toward my new resurrection. The phoenix is, the death card is the phoenix. The death card is the phoenix, and the phoenix goes into the fire, burns everything up, and then is reborn. Bigger, stronger, more brilliant, more everything. That's what the energy is. And we have to go through these phases in our lives. We really do. And they're very cathartic. And it's really, there's an energy really of like a rebirth. And it's beautiful, actually. It's really beautiful. That's what I have to say. All right. Blessings. And please become a member, $4.99 a month. And it allows you access to the extended reading that will be for all the individual signs. And you can watch, your rising and your moon and your sun and whatever. All right. Blessings.